The motion to concur is agreed to.
And we are back in business. Federal workers will be heading into work today after Congress passes another short-term spending bill. Some are worried the deal Democrats agreed to won't save DACA. The hashtag now trending. And construction controversy. President Trump securing plans for his border wall to be built right here in New Mexico. We'll tell you how and why some are angry about this. Plus, comedy club or fight club, an audience member caught on camera attacking a comedian. What led up to this? Plus, more of this video still to come. But first, we do begin with breaking news that we've been following all morning. Those were sirens out in Kodiak, Alaska earlier this morning. They were signaling a tsunami warning. That warning has been canceled, but what prompted that was this: reports of a 7.9 earthquake that struck in the Gulf of Alaska. That's about 175 miles southeast of Kodiak. As you can see right there, this is video into our newsroom a few hours ago this morning. Folks racing to reach higher ground as soon as that warning went out. Again, the warning and watches, they have been canceled. But a pretty scary moment for residents who are living there, and also for prompting watches out in California.
Right, yeah. So earlier that watch had extended all the way down to the Mexican border. But at this point, they have since just expired the advisories too. So the advisory no longer in effect. They did have confirmed tsunami waves along the southern coast of Alaska, but these were just high waves, nothing in the way of significant inundation by any means. But of course, all triggered by that 7.9 earthquake off the coast. So we're going to keep tabs on this situation for you. At this point, it looks like that threat has since been dissipated. So good news there. Good news here in New Mexico, too. Not a whole lot to be concerned about. Your morning commute looks good. As far as the weather conditions go, it is very cold out there with temperatures this morning in the teens, 20s, and low 30s. Albuquerque coming in at 22 degrees. But will those cold temperatures last? Not quite. We're slowly but surely warming up. I'll have details on those afternoon highs coming in.
All right, thanks so much, Kristen. We'll talk to you then. We turn out to a live look over Washington, D.C. this morning. The federal government is back up and running today. This morning, federal workers across New Mexico are heading back to work, and federal offices will once again open their doors. This comes after U.S. lawmakers agreed to another short-term spending deal. The clock is now reset, and lawmakers now have 16 days to try and come up with a final budget. Here are the details for you, though. The bill, which does include a 6-year extension of the Children's Health Insurance Program, funds the government only through February 8th. It also includes payback for government workers who still had to report to work yesterday during the shutdown. Leadership on both sides of the shutdown ended because of a bipartisan group of about 24 senators who worked behind the scenes on another compromise. It is the 4th time this fiscal year Congress is agreeing to a short-term spending measure rather than a full budget, something New Mexico Congresswoman Michelle Lujan Grisham spoke out against overnight.
When is enough enough? It shouldn't take you a full calendar year to do your basic work.
However, Lujan Grisham's message is falling on Democrats as well this morning. Senate Democrats agreed to support the bill after Republican leaders verbally committed to addressing DACA.
Now those talks can get going again. Whether they bear fruit is up to all of us.
This morning, the hashtag Schumer sellout is trending, many believing that Democrat Minority Leader Chuck Schumer made a deal with no concrete evidence that the GOP will revisit immigration. After the president signed the funding bill, he did tweet out saying, quote, "A big win for Republicans as Democrats cave on the shutdown." He then said he wants a win for DACA, the military, and border security. We'll continue following that. On to other news happening right now. The Trump administration is clearing the way for a border wall in New Mexico. They did it by waiving numerous laws to replace existing vehicle barriers with the wall. Those laws do include the National Environmental Policy Act and Endangered Species Act. Critics say the waivers are an overreach and a threat to the environment. Right now, there are efforts on the state level to stop the wall from being built. Of course, we'll continue to follow the very latest from Washington, D.C., including the Trump administration, on air, online, and on our KRQE News app. Also this morning, New Mexico pit bull owners wanting answers after a sheriff's deputy shot and wounded her family pet. A quick warning for you. The pictures of the dog are very graphic. Last Thursday, Taos County Sergeant Jake Cordova showed up to Teresa Pacheco's home to serve a subpoena. Now, he says Pacheco's 10-year-old pit bull Princess charged at him that he feared for his life and his safety, and that's when he opened fire, hitting the dog in the jaw and torso. The sheriff says the sergeant acted reasonably. Pacheco disagrees.
I saw her. She wasn't that close to him. She was about as far as those dogs were when he shot her.
The circumstances are you get bit or attacked or you protect yourself.
Sergeant Cordova remains on duty while this case is under review. On to some viral video for you this morning. Shows a moment laughs and applause was replaced with a violent outrage at a comedy show. The suspect is still on the run today. Let's take a closer look for you at this video. That's comic Steve Brown. He is performing at a comedy club in Columbia, South Carolina. A man in the audience became upset after Brown asked him what his problem was. That man ran on stage, began throwing punches at the comic. He then even took a microphone stand, hurled it at him. A piece of that stand flew into the audience. After a few more swings, the man ran out, and after being pulled away, he does return shirtless for round number 2. Several people were hurt in all of this, but everyone is expected to be okay. Again, that man is still on the run this morning, but boy, what an ordeal to see.